is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Destiny, Hassan Piker, Ethan Klein and Denims TV. Maybe Casey Tron too, as she does feature within this a little. How they all tie in together is fascinating, to be honest. Whether they be Destiny, a Destiny Orbiter, or Ethan Klein, or a former Destiny Orbiter. Yes, it's quite strange. The Destiny situation is quite bad, because he's admitted to wrongdoing on social media and then immediately gone on the back foot about it. So he's been called out left, right and centre for his rather terrible behaviour. Terrible behaviour that has now found its way onto certain forums. That will never remove it, no matter how much he might want to try. Some people need to pick their battles, and then there are Destinies. Hassan, Denims, people who believe themselves removed from bad behaviour. The Orbiters typically defend the bad behaviour or dismiss it under the guise of politics. And it's become quite a poisonous problem. I say become, it's always been a poisonous problem, where some just refuse to accept the harsher reality that you do need to be consistent. If you don't have consistency on your side, you are going to look like an absolute hypocrite under the guise of, but the bigger picture. That same bigger picture right now makes Orbiters and defenders of Destiny in this instance look like they are complete and utter smegheads and enablers. So let's go through some tweets that loosely tie in together, but not go into anywhere near the level of detail I'm sure you would all want, because if I went through all of that, I'd be here forever. Nick Diorio had tweeted an image of a Casey Tron tweet. This is quite possibly the biggest lie I've ever read, LMFAO. This is from June of 2024. As it ties into more recent content and then leads into Denims, we need it for context. Casey had said one thing about the LGBTQ+ community is when substantial claims are made about a prominent figure, they are exiled. Now this is kind of untrue actually. We see it enough because of tribalism. Now as this ties into Denims and more recent videos from Denims, basically 4 of them going obsessively over Ethan Klein, he followed up with a tweet. Casey's good friend Denims, idiot, chose to not do a stream criticising Keffels for scamming $100,000 from LGBTQ donators, making weird comments to minors and helping creeps peddle that stuff to minors. The reason why, and it's from a Chud Logic stream, is quite sad because you are a commentary person. That's what you do, Denims. Whether you be a streamer or a video producer, it doesn't matter really. If you have no consistency, people are going to point at it. If you want to make an issue a part of you, you need to have the same energy, the issue when others, even people you've agreed with, commit those same, faux pas. So here's the clip for that.
With some of her actions, and I disagree with some of the things that she's done, and I think in general, my perspective, and this is not going to be the perspective of everyone online, and that's fine. My perspective is, I don't like to spend my time going after other people that are on the left, right? And that's just because I think my time is better spent.
What? I don't. What? Why? Why does that matter? Why should that make any difference? What if someone committed some grotesque, provable crime? Would you be like, oh, I'm not going to go after them because they're on the left? Bro, so you can just be a lefty, according to Denims, do whatever you want, and you're never going to scrutinise them, ever. It's so brazen, dude. You're correct. This has got to be the worst sweeping I've ever seen in my fucking life. This is unreal.
Yeah, not even a joke. Won't do it because people on the right. Right, okay, well, that makes sense. On February the 7th, Drama Alert had tweeted out a clip titled Destiny's Orbiters Are Attacking Each Other. The clip came from Nick Diorio's Twitter. Here is the clip.
Labeling me as an ex-Destiny Orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Hassan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that, but really just ask Destiny. Here's what he had to say on October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm scripting these. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Hassan is just going to accuse me of mind fucking him, basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Some people don't believe that any of the people in the clip are Destiny orbiters. I think, weirdly, it becomes very subjective depending on how you define a orbiter, if that makes sense. Right now, it is, I'd say, poison to be associated with Destiny right now, and I myself would not want to be associated with Destiny. The accusations, the fact that he has confirmed some of it as well, and then backpedaled, is not good. It's like the Dr. Disrespect thing, where he admitted to stuff and then backpedaled on it, citing BS reasoning. I know they're not the same, don't be that person. Nick Diorio had tweeted yesterday, "Imagine if these guys were anything other than spineless, pathetic cowards." Included are 2 videos from Hassan and Destiny. I say videos, they're live streams. The thing is, I've seen Hassan's react. It's kind of pointless. He does exactly what everyone said he would do. He would deflect, he would do weird little attacks, he would refuse to debate, but mostly he would project. I'm not saying Destiny would do any better, but right now, again, to be associated with Destiny is bad. And so for the sake of this video, no, I will not be playing clips from either of those. Mostly because downloading them would be a bitch, and finding the right part to drill home certain points would be redundant. This all stems from one video that Ethan Klein did on Hassan. That's it. But because he hasn't released a video on his channel for years, this is a big deal. He's focused mostly on his podcast. He had worked with Hassan for a time. It didn't work out, because Hassan is also poison. Nick Diorio continued, "Just sharing the links with each other so you guys can swap. Quote, there is a lawsuit, guys. You can't watch the video where the majority isn't about anything in the lawsuit," end quote. DGG replies blindly defending their freak daddy are sickening. Also, this goes without saying, I don't really care if you think my Hassan Ethan if you like my Hassan Ethan coverage. If you think Destiny should still have a career as a respected political creator after what he did to Pixie, I invite you to unsubscribe, unfollow, so I don't have to go through the trouble of purging you myself. You're not welcome in my community. In this, I couldn't agree more. And I'm sure there are many people who still respect Destiny. That's totally fine, you're welcome to that. But I don't respect Destiny. I'm not going to. I've used Destiny videos before to make certain points. I'm going to try to refrain from it, even when Destiny is right. I know I'm a verifiable nobody, and this might look like virtue signal. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to maintain a level of energy and consistency. I cannot condone anyone that knowingly commits a crime. I say knowingly because of what he has said on his own Twitter, what he has said in his live streams. Stuff that has all been archived on the very forums he frequented to dox people, which we'll get to in a moment. Destiny had retweeted Nick Diorio by saying, "I just want to say how effing hilarious it is that you fat soy Fs were screeching and screaming about how horrible and evil cancel culture is, and the hashtag #MeToo stuff was, quote, innocent until proven guilty, but you're super content to take a side on this because of where the popular support is only when one side has spoken. I'll respond with more substance when I can. But I'm being attacked by people who have literally nothing to lose and everything to gain by saying whatever they can publicly while trying to squeeze me, legally, privately, which puts me in the most annoying spot imaginable when dealing with people like you. If you really want to show your nuts, why not attack places like the farms,
where the content is literally still being hosted and blasted onto the world?"
Oh, because that's scarier party to go after, eh? Talk about cowards. Careful what you say about the farms, fam, because they'll just go for you, like they do anyway. I'm not surprised you have a thread. You use them for content. I've used them in the past for earlier content constables, so I'm inserting that because I know somebody will say it. But you should know which battles to pick. Thing is, no one's blaming Kiwi Farms here. They're blaming you for what you did, holding you accountable for what you've even said you've done. Now, Destiny has said that he didn't admit to anything, even though the DMs, according to Tito Tortuga, where nudes were shared without consent, he has admitted to this. And there is a rated community note where Nick Diorio has actually tweeted, which is where it leads to it. Destiny, what do you think would be the appropriate way of even approaching her about that reply, which is probably extremely difficult to prove in her case? She's not a high-profile micro-celebrity, and you didn't leak it maliciously, you did it at all, you distributed it non-consensually. That, by the way, is called semantics. Reply, yeah, I know. Ooh, that to me looks like guilt, or an admission of guilt. Now I don't know where this screenshot comes from, so it could be fake. However, this is evidence along with the mountain of evidence already collected against Destiny that do not help Destiny in the slightest. So when you have people like Denims going to bat, by simply deflecting the attention onto Ethan Klein, rather than holding the same energy to go after Destiny. It tells us everything we need to know about people like Denims. Grifter, basically, okay? Which is why we know for a fact from Casey Tron's earlier image, people are not holding each other to the same standard, and they have not done so for quite some time. I do not care what your belief system is. If you refuse to hold people to the same standards, you are opening yourself up to this problem, this criticism, justifiable criticism at that. I generally make it a point to wait until someone has been proven guilty. The evidence in the public space, which I wish to have gone to the police first, of course I do, is damning, and I can't show any of it in this video. The additional argument here is one that is also mentioned by Ryan Beard on Twitter, who said, "Hey dumbass, I did criticize kiwi farms in my video about you
multiple times,
and I criticized the way you have used kiwi farms to dox multiple people of your sexual partners, over the years. I'm not sure the angle you want to go with right now is people aren't criticizing kiwi farms enough. This is the other point. It's called deflection. You claim Destiny, you claim you're being attacked by multiple sides, multiple entities right now. The thing is, you've admitted that you are going to, at some point, respond with more substance when you can. But right now, this is one of the most important parts of your life. Surely dealing with it now would be better than waiting. This tells me you're waiting for it to die down so you can do what everyone else does when they get what you consider cancelled. I don't think this is cancel culture, by the way. This is accountability. If any of what has been said is true, your career is done. You are another illegitimate voice for the left, and there are many for the right. Don't get me started. There are plenty. Don't deflect. Focus on the individual and the issue at hand. Over the past 3 to 4 years, I've seen more and more creators that were once respected be undone by their own antics. Hypocrisy is the biggest problem, because they can't shelve their ego, their pride, their arrogance long enough to accept reality being different to what they see it as, when they can in fact be wrong. Take Hassan Piker, a hipster that is a millionaire living in a mansion who bleats on about his social battery while streaming 8 to 10 hours a day, where he steals content, eats food and does absolutely F all. When he's been proven to try and debate people, he fails. The Willie Mack thing was hilarious, by the way. When you think of Destiny, this is a guy who can be a pro-debater, in 2 completely different senses. One a political and the other a mass. In the political sense, he talks fast, he's loud, he's obnoxious. Well, not loud, but he talks a lot and fast and thinks that that's enough. Then when he sits in front of somebody who is intellectually superior, so virtually everyone, he fumbles. He is undone by his own commentary. He makes people on the right that he despises look more legitimate when he then debates them and fails. And what is or is not failure I know is subjective, but let's face it here, Destiny has done really bad with debates of late. He's been undone by his own DM antics as well, people calling into question, poisoning the world to an extent, calling into question his legitimacy as a commentator. He is a legit commentator, but right now he's looking at being also a legit criminal. So far this month, Destiny has lost nearly 20,000 subscribers. His viewership is still in the hundreds of thousands, so he's definitely doing well as far as views go. But right now, he is going through a massive drain of subs, even at his subscriber count. He's losing support, and the one thing that would help would be him with substance, as he himself put it, addressing the problems that he is facing. Because this is all in the public space, which I'm not overly fond of. Again, I wish this was all entirely legal. He has no choice beyond thinking himself removed from it. You can play victim and use shields or deflect, but by you simply bleating on Twitter about this, you are not helping yourself, and you are showing where your intentions really reside. I partially expect you and Hassan Piker now to start doing streams together before you get his thirst posting over to OnlyFans, which I kind of expect, to be honest. I've never really been much in the way of a fan of political commentators, certainly the streamers, because of the nature of how they frame their arguments, their political bias. It's always very one way, either very far right or very far left, and I suffer enough of the right-leaning ones and now left-leaning ones. I can't stand it. I think of them as being about as sharp as a sack full of soup, intellectually as fast as a glacier, about as useful for discourse as a chocolate teapot is for actually serving a hot beverage. Anyway, as we're done here, I'd love to know what you think. I know this is a lot more nuanced to some, but to me, not so much. Do let me know in the comments down below. I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight. If I don't see you there, hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you all very much for listening. Dawn of War Dark Crusade, by the way, tonight, guys.